Hello and welcome to the 2024 Plywood Masters here at Boulder, UK. My name is Matt Groom and I'm joined in the commentary box by Leah Crane. Leah, good afternoon.
We are ready and we are back.
I cannot wait for this to start. We had an intense semi-finals taking place earlier on this morning. Those athletes have been whittled down to just 6, and those 6 are about to be on stage. And Leah, looking at these boulders, massive comp wall, newly painted, and some bizarre-looking climbs out there.
Do you know, bizarre's the right word. You might see from this angle a bit of an odd coloured volume climb in the background. We've both been down on the mats. We've had a look at the boulders. The climbers are in for a bit of a treat, and I think it's definitely going to test all of their skills. There's no doubt about that. We're in for a show.
We are indeed in for a show. And talking about shows, we should thank some of our sponsors here. The big one being La Sportiva. Neil Gresham's been in the house showing off some amazing shoes, so thank you to those guys. UKC, one of the best climbing websites around. Lion Outdoors, Serious Climbing Distribution are our main ones. And Leah, this is the bizarre boulder we were kind of talking about. What on earth is going on screen? I've never seen anything like it.
This is the safari block, and everything is pretty camouflaged. So you guys at home are going to have to work pretty hard to be able to see these holds. We'll do our best to try and point out actually where they are, but the route setter has gone to town on making this block a bit of a spectacle. I hope the climbers' route reading skills are on point, because they're going to need all the directions that they possess to get up this climb.
Absolutely. And I don't know if it's just me, but it's something about those colours that confuse the life out of me. I can't see my way through that boulder. We have got holds on it. It's difficult to see, but it's going to be an intense one. But of course, we've got normal climbs as well. We're looking at one of the holds right now, one of those little dishes. So there are some normal ones and some weird ones on display, for sure.
Yeah, weird and wonderful. They've got some new holds that the setters have been loving playing with. It's like giving them new toys when they get new holds to put on the wall. And also, hopefully, the climbers obviously won't really necessarily know what they are, so it'll be really interesting to watch them maybe get lost, maybe get lucky with them catching them or holding them. The crowd are getting pretty hyped down here. George Lonsdale is doing a good job with making sure that everyone is ready to cheer our climbers on.
Exactly. Well, the crowd have been filtering in. They've had some pizza. They're ready to go. And we're also live on a few channels for this. Epic TV. I've got the chat up in front of me, so do say hello. TNL Sports and Boulder UK as well. We're already getting people saying hello on both channels, so we'll keep an eye on that. And there is our main title sponsor, La Sportiva, nicely lit up. And myself and Leah are actually behind that banner, hiding away somewhere. We should stick a hand up somewhere. Oh, well, you can see my hand. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, so that's where we are, at the top of the wall. Now, Leah, we've got 6 athletes out. We're going to be introduced in a couple of seconds here. Louise Flockhart qualifying in first place. A bit of a change from when we finished the semi-final. I think things were adjusted a little bit due to appeals afterwards. Interesting.
Okay. Last time I saw, like, Faye McDougall had a clean sheet. Obviously, that may not actually now be the case. So that'd be... See how she takes that. Obviously, that will put Louise in front. Let's hope it doesn't come to count back, because that could really matter if it does.
Exactly. Could be a big difference. And Aidan Dunn qualifying in first position for the men. Now, we're a couple of seconds away, everyone. We're just finishing off this raffle. We're looking at some of the holds here, and we've got a pretty packed schedule for you here this afternoon, as well as the climbing, of course. We're going to show you some semi-final highlights. We're going to be looking at the boulders, and we've got this new toy that we were talking about playing, which hopefully it's going to work, but it's kind of a 3D rendered flying around thing.
Yeah, so we're just trying to bring you guys at home a little bit more detail about the climbs, if there's a particular hold or foothold that we think would be interesting. We're going to see if we can make it work, get a bit of a better view of that. Obviously, we have some of the 3D renders coming, so you can see the boulders as well. Yeah, you can't be here in person to look at the climbs, so we'll try and bring you the best vision possible.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a question from Dan Rogers, who's asking, are the Safari Block volumes dual techs?
Good question.
I'm trying to remember myself now.
So, no, I think they're just slippy. I think they're just full slip.
Yes.
However, the edges are fairly, when I say sharp, I just mean quite positive. They're not going to injure the climbers. And they will, I think some of them also have screw-ons screwed onto them for the feet, etc. So that makes it the hold rather than just the texture itself.
Well, the athletes are being introduced onto the stage right now. We can see the 12 finalists 6 men, 6 women, and obviously a heavy GB presence here. Although we've got a couple of international athletes, including Dylan Soin from Australia, U5 Pan as well in the house.
Yeah, I was going to say that one. That name, when I saw it on the list, I was like, oh, okay, I wonder what he's doing here. But by the sounds of it, maybe just wanted some comp experience. So it's kind of nice, actually, to put a cat amongst the pigeons, like ruffle the feathers of the UK boys up a little bit. And yeah, we don't know how these guys are going to perform.
Exactly. And he didn't walk away with it either. He's qualified in second. Dylan runs across the stage there in a rather awkward fashion, but he's going to go and look at the boulder. And it's observation time, which means that we are going to have a look at the boulders and show you guys some detailed looks of this. And Leah, lots of air climbing going on. Look, you're an ex-athlete, super experienced. Just tell us what's going on in these moments here.
So this is an opportunity for the athletes, the climbers on the mat, to actually get up close and personal. So this is something that they don't get to do in semi-finals. They can touch the start holds and they can touch the start foot holds, but they're not allowed to touch anything else. They'll be able to glean as much information as possible, the wall angle, maybe some hold size that they can see. They'll really have to, for example, if they want to see the top hold, they'll need to move around, so you'll see them walking around the mats. And then when they go back into isolation, they'll need to be able to remember what it is that they've seen, play it in their head, get focused, and then be able to come out and climb. So generally what we see straight after when the competition starts going is the climbers will be straight out and they'll get on the wall a lot quicker than what they would do in a qualifier or a semi-final because they've already got previous knowledge.
Okay, so that is what they have ahead of them. And at this moment, it's so pressurized. You've got to read it quickly. You've got to work out what's going on. This is your only opportunity to have an idea.
It's also, if somebody's being a bit sneaky, a really good opportunity to psych your competitors out.
Oh, really?
So, the climbers are obviously all there in a group. They'll be chatting with each other, route reading with each other, but who knows, maybe there'll be some curveballs put out there.
Well, I want to hear more about this, but before I hear more about the secrets, let's have a look at the semi-final highlights from earlier on today. Check out some of the action from that. There's an interesting set of boulders, techie slabs, as well as physical move, especially. That right toe, so important for the athletes.
Really important, but also what was really important in this specific move here was actually getting the right body position, as is the one that we're seeing on screen right now. That was one way of doing it. There was actually 2 ways of doing that move, and that really split the competitors, that block. So fair play to the route setters on that one. Yeah,
this was boulder number 1 for the men we're looking at here. And then this is Yufai Pan, who had to do this nasty looking match. We saw so many athletes fall off this move.
Yeah, the left foot was the culprit here. If it was too low, there was a slip was happening straight away. And also, speaking of slip, that foot hold, the bonus hold for that top move was full Jiltex.
And then the power boulder done a variety of different ways, all of them physical, bit of a knee involved in here, and this cross spat off a lot of people.
Yeah, body positioning really important, but this top move wasn't a given. It's a really bad sloper, and if you don't hold connection or tension, you're off.
And then this man flashed all of the boulders in the qualifying. Didn't quite manage the same in semi-finals, but he was looking good. And then Diane here on this slab, the top and the zone in the same place. A bit unusual.
A bit unusual. Again, such a hard slab. Really good to see some people topping it.
This was that move you talked about, the slippery foot. It's a blocked crimp at the top as well, meant they had to be accurate. So that was the journey of the semi-finals. You can go back and watch that for free on TNL Sports and the Boulder UK YouTube channel as well. I was trying to remember the name of the gym there. YouTube channel as well. So go back and watch that if you haven't seen it already. Now they're looking at the safari block, and my mind will be blown at this point, and there are some confused faces out there for sure.
Yeah, there'll be different moves, different options being spat out between them. Like, does it go here? Does it go there? I think Diane just turned around and was like, what? His face said it all then.
Yeah, well, the athletes spending the last couple of seconds looking at this. Now, obviously, an event like this has a lot going on behind the scenes, so we caught up with some of the organisers and athletes to find out a little bit more.
Plywood Masters is the best community competition for everybody, like from beginners or, well, we'd say intermediates actually, 3 to 1.
It's Boulder UK's sort of big annual competition where we put on a sort of a great event for our regulars as well as some of the top GB climbers in the country to come and compete at.
It's one of those open format competitions, so anyone can turn up, register, and the cool thing is you get to climb with some of the best climbers in the UK and a few special international athletes.
It is a competition, but I think it's mainly about camaraderie.
You get to try out boulders that have been set by some of the best route setters in the business. So it's an opportunity to test your comp skills and also rub shoulders with the best in the world.
So my name's Dylan Sowen, I'm 17 and I've been climbing for 7 years now.
My name's Sophie. I have been climbing for around 5 years, but probably bouldering a lot less.
Last time it was my favourite comp of the year, I think, because it's such a good atmosphere, especially coming towards semi-finals and finals. Everyone's just loving it and it's really good to be around.
We want it to be a fun event, so something people look forward to, a highlight in the calendar. If you're like one of the stronger competition WODs, it's like a real good benchmark to see how your training's gone. If you're part of our local Boulder UK community, it's something to aim for.
The atmosphere we're trying to achieve is an atmosphere that is accessible for everyone to take part in and just enjoy going climbing with your mates, going around a load of boulders, trying hard, and also seeing some amazing feats of strength from some of the top guys. It's inspiring to see people trying really hard.
It's like having a little family. Like everyone has a joke, everyone has a laugh. Like I was downstairs and even people that I look up to are cheering you on and it's just really nice.
Strong setting team, definitely. Yeah, got Jan Janou, IFSC setter for the first time here. Dave Barons, who's set for this is his 3rd one now.
I guess we try and put something that challenges them in a different way. The moves are much more, I guess, precise. There's less room for error. A little bit almost uncomfortable. It's almost badly set, but not.
All of the climbs in qualifiers today have been top-notch. And they are the most experienced setters, I think, in England.
Even the easy routes, the way they set them, they're thought-provoking and stuff, so it's not just a sort of jug ladder. You still have to think about them and try to do them in a nice way rather than an ugly way.
So what would I say to someone who was considering joining Plywood Masters? Well, first of all, I'd say, why have you not done it this year? Secondly, I'd say just do it, definitely. Like, what have you got to lose? Apart from some skin, maybe? Like, you definitely should do it.
Tiny, one of the owners, she doesn't let anyone get out of the building without entering, so she just pesters them the whole time. Like, oh, you should do plywood, it'll be great. No, I don't do comps. Oh, no, it's really friendly. And
I describe Plywood Masters as atmospheric, fun, and hard.
Yeah, it's fun, it's engaging, and it's really social.
About northern excellence. Yeah.
Well, there you go. A few legends on screen telling you how things work. Right, let's have a closer look at these boulders, shall we, Leah? Because this is men's number 1, set by James Gardner, and we're going to show you some renders of this. This is the boulder and a slab one. You've got to work your way from right to left.
Indeed, so set by James Gardner. He's an amazing climber on a slab, so I'm quite glad that he's actually set this himself. But a bit of a very definite move left into the groove, and obviously 2 opposing volumes there is going to suggest that if you don't hit that equally, it's probably going to spit you out that groove.
Yeah, agreed. And then a hard top there, little dish. So that is boulder 1, and that's it in real life. A big shout out to these 3D renders, by the way. Really impressed by them. And this is block number 1 for the men. Dave Barron set this one. 5 degree slab, balancy. Oh, sorry, women's it says F. I can't read. So let's have a look at this in terms of the render. Again, a teetery-tottery start for the women.
Yeah, so maybe one to really hold the nerve. That obviously the foothold, we've seen this in the men's semi-final. The handholds themselves are looking teeny tiny, so really bad dish, moving across to the right onto two tiny little pebbles. They're not going to give you much stability at all. So the feet are going to be really important here, keeping close into the wall and not toppling out backwards.
There we go. And then this monstrosity, a beast of a boulder, the Safari Boulder Men's 2, starting on there. And I mean, I'm not even going to try to pretend what I know what's going on. Tell us a bit about the boulder, Leah.
So again, fairly hard to read this one. It's not obvious the moves you need to make through. Some of the holds that are screwed on are dual text. Some of them are resin. The angles of the volumes themselves are going to be really important. It's going to involve some toe hooking, some real movement of the body, and making sure that you're shifting your center of gravity, because this one is not going to give you anything.
And Max Ayrton set this. It holds as well to him, so it's an intense boulder. I can't wait to see that one. This is women's number 2, second one the women get to play on. James Gardner again setting this one. Coordination and balance. Let's check out that 3D render, and you can tell us what it's all about, Leah.
So moving, obviously women's block 1 is T3 slab. Moving on to block 2, this one is where the beam dynamic comes into play. So the first move being a palm down into a really good juggy hold with the right hand. You'll see lots of chalk on that left black volume, and that is a palm plant. So that's to stop any momentum that's going to be happening, and then a fairly basic couple of moves to the top. That's I mean, it looks like a bit of a given, and the meat of the problem is in that first couple of moves.
Okay, well, that is that slab as we flick to men's 3 next to the women's 1. Some big looking holds there, but not as easy as it looks. Let's check out that 3D render, shall we?
Yeah, so a bit of a dynamic one for the men as well. Really starting under a roof, the holds aren't going to be huge, and then a fairly sizable jump to, I guess for the guys, a fairly good hold, but it really depends on that swing and that foot plant. That sloper there that you can see for the right hand is okay, but on the angle of wall that it's on, maybe not. We're going to have to watch the climbers on it to see if they're going to really struggle with that part, or if it's the top maybe that's a little bit harder.
Yeah, okay, so that is the physical one. And then block number 3, another Max Ayrton special, 35 to 45 degrees, physical looking.
Yeah, so the first move on this is real weight transition. You've got a huge foothold and a really juggy start hold, and then you start to enter this crimpy part in the middle of the wall, trying to figure out where the best part is. A bit of a move down or almost before moving out to the double volume on the right. Again, when you get to this part, the wall kind of slabs out. The holds are okay, but can you stand on the sort of angled footholds and be in the right position to move?
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. I certainly could not. Men's number 4, the last boulder here. Jan, the IFSC route setter, set this one. So how are the men finishing things off?
Well, this one, the holds are actually looking like, anyway, fairly good, and the volume is there. I think this one is going to bring a bit of power, a bit of burl, especially into this sort of blobby blue volume that you can see. Not many moves, but I think, yeah, pumping up the power on that one is going to be important.
Love that. Pumping up the power indeed. And finally, women's number 4, another Jan special. Starting off, another steep one.
This is a steep one, and also one that's not going to take any prisoners. This one is involved, and it's fast, and it's, again, powerful, and maybe not your straightforward block when you first look at these holds. It might involve coming out feet first. It might involve knee bar. We'll see how the climbers actually move through that and how they read it. The holds themselves are okay, but it'll all be about the positions that you make between the holds.
There we go. Well, that is our 8 boulders in total, and we're about ready for the athletes to come out. Joe Neem and Reese Conlon will be out first. There is Joe. We were talking about her earlier being selected for the GB lead team. She's doing a few bouldering comps along the way just to get her power in, I presume. And then Reese on the right-hand side as they turn and wait. 4 minutes on the clock, and we begin Plywood Masters 2024 with a bit of brushing just to make sure those holds are clean.
So Yeah, they came out before, they've read the blocks, they'll know what's coming. Joe pulling on already, not wasting any time. They only have 4 minutes in this final, not 5 like they did in the semi-final. And that 1 whole minute makes the biggest of difference. So Joe just setting up for the first move, and you can see how far out from the wall that she's coming. She really needs to get those hips in there.
Okay, so that's Joe's task. Reese starts his bump up. It's quite a flowy move to begin things. You've got to do it in one sort of sequence there. Right and left of the stage. Let's see if Joe gets those hips in this time.
Yeah, I feel like the men's and women's block on this, the first block, is actually quite similar in terms of the need of the move. So being quite powerful in the start of the move, a bit balancy as you end the move and being in exactly the right position and close in. The holds are bad, the foot holds are bad. So they've not got much going for them just yet.
Agreed. Well, you can see our scoreboard on the left for the first time, and I just want to shout out the Tech Native guys who are behind this live stream, providing all these graphics and camera angles. The rules for climbing, if you don't know, are pretty simple. You start at the beginning, you finish at the top. There's a zone on the way, and I'm talking quickly because Reese is established on the boulder, and now he's got to move left towards this zone hold.
That was, again, from looking boulder from the floor, you never quite know how powerful or how fast the move needs to be, and he just floated through that move with seeming ease. Now, what looks like the harder part is to actually get up and into that groove. But I'm quite pleasantly surprised, actually, that initial move into the groove was a lot nicer than what I thought it was going to be.
It's kind of chimney-esque at the top there, isn't it? A bit of bridging involved. Right.
Yeah, Joe got close on her previous go as well, just as we moved over to men's block 1. So her hand is getting in there. It almost looks like she's trying to catch a left toe hook.
Well, let's flick back to Reese right now. Now, the scoreboard, as you can see on the left, has been updated. So it's the blue block is filled halfway for the zone. In 3 attempts, it will fill all the way up for a top. Tops are worth the most points, but zones are hugely important when things are this close. And then, of course, count back might come into play if we see some draws along the way. And Reese, again, it looks like he's learned that move now.
Yeah, really good that he can repeat that. He's not going to be using skin and energy on repeating a move that he's already done. So great to see that he's able to learn and do that time after time. Just taking his time here that I think is needed, but there needs to be quite a lot of power in order to get his centre of gravity up high enough to get his weight on his hands.
It's like angel wings, those volumes on the wall. It's a spectacular bit of setting as he slowly presses his way up. And Joe as well getting a bit closer that time on the bottom right.
So he's really got his left hand loaded here, which means he can't really move it if he needs to adjust it. And once he's in that position, he's committed. Whether or not he needs to get his left foot up first remains to be seen at the moment.
Okay, so Reese has a minute. Well, both of them have a minute to get this done. Time is ticking away. And Joe, especially, no zone for her yet. She wants to get started here. There's another fall for her. Looking up at the clock. Oh, not sure quite what happened there, but certainly he was shocked.
These volumes are so angled down to the floor. They are so slippy as well. Even just, there's no margin for error.
All right, well, he's up this time. So that's out the way. Joe slips again, having a nightmare start for her. Reese creeps his way over towards the left again. Shouldery move, and there's been a lot of shouldery boulders in this competition.
This also, in my opinion, would be a kind of move that's hard to warm up for in isolation because there's not always that opportunity and that chance. So he's making great progress, but with a foot pop, that's his journey over on block 1.
All right, well, Reese is done, Joe is done. No zone for Joe. Reese gets on the scoreboard, though. And now this is a fascinating new graphic we've got showing time spent on the wall. And we can see from Joe's very little time spent on the wall, a lot of falls from her, whereas Reese was hanging around there a little bit longer.
Yeah, so he's getting more moves in, so he's going to be on the wall naturally a lot longer. But it's good to see that Joe was trying to learn that move, like we were saying before. The more you can get on and learn, hopefully, potentially, the better you're going to be able to doing the move.
There we go. Okay, well, that's the story so far. Dylan is here. It's part of Team Australia, living in the UK in training here, though. Climbing Anchor's his sponsor, as you can see on that graphic there. And he's just making sure that these volumes are clean. And hello to everyone on the various YouTube channels we've got going on here. Jan Havel, as always, joining us. Climbing Gems, waking up at horrendous time in the morning in Australia, I would imagine supporting Dylan. And then on the left, this is Emma Edwards, starting her finals as she begins to pull on 30 seconds gone already, and Dylan's underway as well, but a big foot pop from Dylan.
So one of Emma's favourite style of block is dynamic and coordination. Whether that extends to doing that on a slab, we'll see. She's looking quite comfortable, as that move was. This is her flash attempt, so this is the first time that she's moving through this block. Bit of a slip, and you're off.
Drops out of our screen, and we switch back to Dylan, who's having difficulties with this move, but it seems to be one of those that once the athletes have learnt it, it becomes a bit easier. Well, at least Reese did that.
Yeah, Reese was going two-handed. Dylan at the moment's only managing to get there with one, and it doesn't look quite enough to keep him on the wall.
So Dylan has to reset. Emma begins again. Now, let's have a look at her feet if we can, because the feet that are causing all types of problems for the athletes so far. Those back two fingers. Whenever someone hits a back two, I sort of cringe. I'm like not strong on my back two, but Emma's looking good on it.
Yeah, hopefully these guys have been doing enough training that their fingers are strong enough to withhold.
You think so, wouldn't you? They're pretty good, these people.
Quite I think this is outstanding. Dylan has a plus 13 centimetre ape index. Wow.
Wow. And he's trying to use that span because he's still going one-handed, trying to press down with that left palm at the moment. Emma this is the feet I was talking about. Let's see if she's in this time on that dish, creeps the feet over, but it's dual text, and she's got to be so accurate dropping down onto that bobble.
This is dual text, and it is quite the drop down. She's got a little bit of height on her side, not loads, but she's found it this time, making use of every single volume she can get her fingers to, and ironically slipping off the grippy one, and not slipping off the slippy one.
So true. And Emma, although getting closer, still no points on the board for her, hasn't got that zone yet, and Dylan looks like he needs to try something new here. Looks up at someone for inspiration. The photographer's at the top of the wall maybe, but no one is going to give him a hand out there. He's by himself. Let's see what Emma can do this time as she gets stood up.
Good that she's repeating these moves. And hopefully the 1 minute buzzer won't put her off creeping down. Now, is she going to go down, or is she going to go all the way over for the handholds?
Let's see, she grips the edge of that volume, fingernails in action there. 3 fingers on the neck, gets that left foot over, and now she's into the zone, needs to use it, of course, and I think that will be points on the board for Emma. Dylan goes up, 2 hands, better from him, but he hasn't left himself a lot of time here.
It'd be good if Emma could, just to make sure. Oh no, she has been, so we can't actually see if she's been awarded the zone. I think Emma should use the zone a little bit more.
Yeah, I think she touched it initially and then dropped down. And she's in the top anyway.
Very nice.
Wow, it's definitely loud. Deafeningly. Wow. It's loud in the
Definitely
stage.
deafening.
Well, Emma leaves back to the ISO area. That is the time spent on the wall. You can see how many attempts Dylan did, especially towards the end of his time. That graphic did change there. And then Emma's time as well. Interesting stuff looking at those statistics.
It's always hard when you come out to a block and the first move's the stopper. It can be really disheartening, especially if you've had such a good couple of rounds beforehand. You've made it into the final. Maybe his thing is not dynamic stand-ups on a slab. We'll see. He just say his favourite style of block is mono matches, but I think there might be a hint of sarcasm in there.
Maybe. Well, our scoreboard gets updated now. Joe jumps to the... Holly. Yeah, Holly jumps there.
Holly on
now,
climbing
yeah.
now, yeah.
All right, so Holly on the wall.
And Sam Butterworth.
Sam with those bright coloured shorts we've seen quite a lot of. Standing up, he goes one-handed as well and shakes that hand out there. Not sure if he hit it. It was a bit of skin scrape coming down. Leah's giggling next to me because I just want to say the athletes have written in a sort of a bio thing, a load of information for us. And as you can imagine, some are quite funny.
I'm mainly laughing because Sam is saying that he does not like the Rock City UFO hold, which I'm fairly sure is the one he's jumping to right now.
Right.
So soz Sam.
Yeah, he's in some trouble there.
They're the one you have to deal with. Holly making that step down just look easy. That was really nice to watch.
She's been so good throughout this competition, actually, really impressive.
In other competitions that she's been in, watching her on a slab, you know, she can move really well. She's quite aware of what's going on with the rest of her body as well. So she's already done one stand up and a step down. So let's see if she can really pounce up into this final stand up and hit the finish hold. Oh, not pounce at all, and do it completely static.
Super quick from Holly. As she gets that done, jumps to the top of the leaderboard for her.
And this is where you can really start to see different styles within the competitors. You could see that Emma really bounced up to the top hold, and Holly's just there standing back there. Good hold from Sam.
Yeah, he's in now. That right hand on the dish, left hand on the volume. This jump move coming up next into the corner.
It's like he's about to static it.
Yeah, I say jump. He doesn't jump. Fair enough. He walks his feet over.
And so this is what I wondered, with the left foot up first, being able to really kick your left hip up now nice and high. Hopefully they've done a bit of stretching and they're ready to get their right foot next to their right hand. Like so.
A lot of stretching going on there. Huge drop knee.
With a tiny top hold, you can see he's just bringing his centre of gravity back down into the groove just to stay in tight. Legs are shaking, hands are shaking, but the top is in.
He controls that top, 2 hands on it. The judges will give him that, and he will leave the stage pretty quickly as he walks into the shadows in the middle of the stage with a puff out of breath there. Job done for Sam.
Holding his back. It was really awkward, especially when you're in the groove. Personally, I love groove climbing. I really enjoy it, but it's a definite style of climbing that's going to test your ability to bend in ways that you wouldn't normally.
Exactly. All right, well, that's time spent on the wall. As you can see, Sam zone in 4, top in 2. So next up, Diane Akbar walks on. Moving through this final pretty rapidly at the moment. And then Jen Woods, what a legend she is. Been on the GB team for, well, since I've been watching climbing, really. And really, really strong climber.
13-ish years she's competed for.
Wow. I like the ish as well. That's standing on the fence, that's good.
The memory starts to blur a little
Oh, mine's always gone, don't worry. Well, Jen falls on the first move, though, going up to that shallow dish. And Diane taking this out as he pulls off the ground, gets underway. He's 20. He's got a span of 1 compared to Dylan's 13, for example, so it just shows you.
A really nice first move there. His climbing hero is Tomoe Narazaki, so, you know, potentially there's a bit of inspiration for his climbing style, but he's quite hoppy, he's quite poppy, he's choosing to go dynamically, and this is what I initially thought this move was going to be. The first 2 climbers proved me wrong in that you can do it completely static. Diane, you know, should he have gone static? He looked close to the dynamic way, and maybe we'll actually see him try again. Hopefully it doesn't cost him too many attempts.
Yeah, okay, so Diane will reset. We're watching Jen Woods go up with the left. She's doing it very quickly up to that dish.
She's going quite quick, and she's nearly getting there, but I think going over with the left hand, it's almost rotating the top of her body away from the wall. I feel like I'm talking a lot about moving away from the wall, whether it's with your hips or with your chest, but when you're climbing on slab, it is so important that you know and you're really bodily aware of being close or not, and when that's needed.
Diane makes that move, looks so good, that spring up, and you're right, it's exactly Tomoe-esque in the way he does that. Oh,
lot of control, like tension when he needed it just then. He'd learnt a lot from the first go.
And he's doing that big drop knee as well. Right hand, he's got to take that left hand off though. Pull down on those fingers.
Squeeze that right. Oh.
Yeah, did the same thing.
Squeezing that left arm through, you know. Could he have brought it out and round to not rotate his body? Maybe. It might have been safer to not hit his face in volume. He didn't. He's fine. It's always just terrifying watching somebody get that close.
Yeah. And we saw a few bangs and scrapes earlier on, so a couple of athletes pulling out for injury. Hopefully they're okay. And Jen Woods is in. And 1:36 on the clock.
Big drop down here for Jen. Doesn't look as close to the foothold as, for example, Emma did. When you're hitting a slippy volume onto a slippy foothold and you're looking down on it as well, it's a bit of a daunting move to not just think you're going to carry on.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to Jen there.
Yes, I'm about to say, yeah. She carried on to the mats on that one. Diane again up to this jump. Less smooth that time. And the minute buzzer might, oh, there it goes. So let's see. Flicks that right leg out in order to balance himself.
Very smooth. Nice that he's repeating it again. Jen's got into the groove now. Not actual groove, she's on the stand, but got into the groove of the move.
Yeah, right, she's got to do that drop down. Diane's got to finish this thing off. He's had one hand on that top already. Needs to match it with control. Jen's in as well on the bottom right.
Keeping that chest in close. She just needs to continue that trend through the rest of the block. Diane, is he going to come through with the left? He is.
Oh, no, again. It just seems like when he brings that left arm through, it almost pushes him a little bit backwards.
Yeah, and you can see the top of his body start to move, and I think that just translates down the rest of his body to a foot slip.
Jen's close. She gets a top.
Jen not having a foot slip. She was very much in control.
And Diane, I don't think he's going to have enough time. Oh, you can't get much closer than that. He'll only get the zone. And look at that time on the wall. That just shows. And Jen, I mean, look, not much success early on, and then loads of success on that last final go. She left it right till the very end on that.
Yeah, being able to unlock the foot fall down, if that's what you want to call it, and then being able to cruise to the top, especially with the time counting down, that's really useful. You know that you don't actually have to repeat that horrible move again.
Yeah, exactly. All right, one of our international athletes, Yufei Pan, is here. You forget he's only 23, the man's an Olympian, and he's out brushing the holds. And this is interesting because we're obviously about to begin the competition circuit, really. You know, we've got Quiff coming up, Studio Block, and then the World Cup's kicking off in China. I mean, Leah, you must remember this from your athlete days, this process. It's a chance to sort of remember how to comp climb in a way.
It is, yeah. I guess the main difference with these competitions, though, from the World Cups is that you have to do so many qualifying blocks to even get to semis and finals. So it's a tall order for the climbers. They climbed, 30 blocks yesterday. They've climbed in semi-finals and now finals again. So physically, they've been through a lot. Their skin has been through a lot. And all of them obviously want to win. That's why they're here. So trying to put their best performance in now is imperative.
Absolutely. Well, Faye McDougall is up and into the drop-down move now. Yufei Pan has hit the first hold. Seems a bit stuck, but now brings that left foot up. I was impressed by that drop-down. She did it quickly. No creeping from her.
Yeah, I think, again, just from social media, not in person, I've seen Faye, practicing the slab. I think it can be a type of climbing in a comp that obviously can really spit you off, but it's so technical. You've really got to understand the movement, not, with an overhang or whatever, you can't just be strong. On slab, you've really got to understand where it is that you are and be bodily aware. So this stand-up should be fine for Faye. Just keeping her nerve, keep close into the wall. My analogy here is imagining a train. A train's coming and you're in a tunnel and you've got nowhere to go, so you have to make yourself as flat to the wall as possible. Don't lean out, don't stick your bum out, otherwise the train will hit you.
I love that analogy. That's brilliant.
But she leant out a little bit, so she got by the train.
Okay, so she's dead on the tracks.
The gravity train.
Gravity train. Hopefully she'll press reset. She's not dead forever, and she'll come back and climb. Yufei Pan, meanwhile, isn't having the best time down low here. He's had a few moments where he's fallen. Just that time.
I mean, his feet were doing nothing on the catch of that move. That was all one hand contact strength.
All right, so now he's trying to fiddle around with his volume. Springs to the left, hits that palm. Faye starts this. He's got one foot in nothingness. Sets herself up, drops down. The terrain hasn't hit her that time. Yufei Pan gets that big left drop knee, hanging the right foot in space. No.
Didn't look very comfortable on those palms. Maybe he's a bit sweaty on them. That's going to feel quite terrifying if your palms slip like that.
Oh, that left hand can't seem to fire off the zone as she went up there.
Yeah, I feel like, again, almost getting a little bit of last move fever. So she's thinking about trying to grab the hold and not necessarily the position she needs to be in to get there.
Yeah, I think you're right. When you can see it coming, that tendency to rush can really cause you some issues. And she has only a minute left now, but she knows she can do the moves. Look at her face pressed against the wall.
Both of them, they've been to the top move. They've got 40 seconds on the clock. They can both do it, but they really need to be on it, and everything needs to be lined up.
All right, well, can it line up then? Yufei Pan goes up with the left foot. Faye gets set. She's going to go quickly again. Not quite. Not the accuracy that time. And Yufei Pan has got to trust that right foot. I don't know how he's going to remove the left hand, but somehow he does, and he controls it.
You can see just from that camera angle how bad that top hold was. Again, all about the body position and not holding on to the hold.
I'm loving watching Yufei Pan climb this competition because it's never, he doesn't ever look completely solid, and sometimes he just pulls something out the bag. It's very exciting to watch.
Well, I guess with the kind of climber, or with that kind of climber, you don't know if they're going to slip, you don't know if they're going to top, and you don't know if they're going to jump even or be completely static. Like you say, it's exciting to watch a completely different style, and I don't really know much about his climbing.
Yeah, well, he does as much lead as he does boulder. He's one of those. All right, so Aidan Dunn, he qualified in first position for this final. He's out last. He's on the slab. And then Louise Flockhart, same position, climbing hang at her sponsor, Satch and Scarpa. There we go. 172, so fairly tall. And she was actually chatting to me during qualies, one of the first times I talked to her, and she was just so lovely. I know this is completely irrelevant to this live stream, but I just wanted to say that she was a lovely person to talk to. So fair play, Louise Flockhart. Right, creeps that right foot up to stand on the first volume.
Again, just getting the line up for the stand up a little bit wrong. Aidan, like saying, I was speaking to him before, he says he's feeling on good form. He really enjoyed the semi-final boulders, so I hope that he's going to enjoy these boulders as well, because I think his climbing can be phenomenal if he really gets into a good sort of momentum with the climbs that he's put in front of him.
Okay, he's certainly put himself in a good position for this final, but that's a bobble and a slip.
So Louise getting the height there, but just, I'm not sure. She's just sort of peeled off backwards.
Yeah, she's giving it a good brush. Has a look down at the feet as well. Staying calm at the moment. So this women's problem is I would hate to see this as I came out onto the mats, because it's one of those where you can't really get involved in it. You know, you're always falling off, it seems.
And again, really hard to warm this up in isolation. There's not always a slab to warm up on. I mean, sometimes there's not even that much of a wall. Here, luckily the competitors have got a lot of climbing to warm up on, but you're not going to be able to force this kind of move in where they are. So this is real sort of on-site movement for them, and their bodies are just having to get used to it as they go.
Yeah, well, let's hope they're warming up slowly here. Aidan's back in this position, drops down with the foot, looks left, gets it up now, and he will start this press upwards. Changing his mind. I think he's going to bring the right up first.
Yeah, not looking very comfortable. Almost looked like there was a lot of him to fit in that space. But if he can make this work, he needs to be able to get his left foot on as well, because I don't know if that top hold is holdable. Yeah,
I was about to say, like, it's a really bad hold to do a big move like that on. Louise struggling. Minute 40 on the clock. Can't get into this boulder yet. And yeah, while you're talking about the wall, just let people know we're at Boulder, UK. It's in Preston. It's a great place to come climbing, near Manchester, so do go and check it out if you're in the local area. Louise goes again. No zone for her.
Oh, slipping left, right and centre. Just when you can't do the first move, we were saying this before, it's a really hard place to be. Your mind can start to wander. It needs to be as sharp as it was the first go.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't want to start sort of putting yourself off the climb at this point. She needs to pull something out of the bag. Aidan, meanwhile, he's got the zone, but we're not convinced by the way he was doing his final move. Oh, there's another foot slip. What is going on with our final two?
I mean, they are the final two. We've always said the conditions, you know, they might be a little bit better for the earlier climbers. There's going to be rubber and more chalk on the holds for these two. A slight disadvantage, but only if you let that play in your mind.
Yeah, it's all to play for, isn't it? She still has time.
You can see when she's standing up, she's really getting those hips into the wall, but the chest is coming straight back out, so all of her weight is not loaded down onto the foot. And Aidan's definitely got the weight loaded onto his palms. I was going to say the right palm's low. Making a bit of progress. Here we go.
He's got 5 seconds left, though. He's going to have to speed through this. It's not going to happen for Aidan. A smile as he comes down. So, well, wouldn't necessarily have expected that. Louise not on the scoreboard. She's down in 5th with 8 attempts. Jo after her. Holly Toothill leading the way, top in 2, and Sam Butterworth top in 4. Boulder 1 done. Wow, Leah, that was intense early on in this competition.
That wasn't. It was fairly intense, although slabs are done, they're out of the way. We can probably... I'm going to guess that the climbers are going to be a little bit more happy to get their teeth into something with a bit more movement, a bit more physical in their upper body as well. Yeah,
and there is some physicality to come. Don't worry if you're watching at home. The slabs are out the way now, but what a slab it was. This was Aidan reaching up, big foot pop on a pretty difficult looking move, and then restarting this boulder from another attempt, springing up into that first hold, palm down, palm slipping all over the place, but somehow he saved it into a bit of a pinch, and good work from him. And now we are having a little pause between as we look at our leaderboard again. Sam, 28% time. I love this stat. So he did it pretty quickly, obviously, and U5 Pan got it done too, but in 54% time on the wall. And we've got some more sponsors to shout out here as well. Obviously, we're on Epic TV and the other channels. And the brushes, the Woodstock brushes are fantastic. The Climbing Wall Company and Lattice as well. One of the biggest training companies in the world who have had a hand in training a lot of these athletes out on the mat here this afternoon.
So opening up with block 2. The boys are about to enter a whole world of, what's the word we can use?
Animal-based fun. I've got no idea. I mean, if any zookeepers watching, this is the boulder for you, okay? Because we've got giraffes, we've got zebras going on. It's something about the colours on this thing disorientate me. So we'll find out in a minute. But Jo quickly launching up into the more of a normal-looking boulder, but a hard one. All right, Mr. Reese, let's see what you can do with this. Starting off on the edge.
So far, after speaking with the route setters, looks like he's actually, I know he's only on the first move, but it got complicated from the word go, didn't it? It looked like he's setting up the right way, as is Jo. That is the movement. I did ask the route setter who set it if you can do the move Jo's trying without the palm plant. He shook his head. He said no. So the white jug that she's jumping to is actually a really good hold. And it looked to me from the floor like you could maybe stall on it and stop. But he did say that needs the palm. So we'll see if Jo sticks with the palm or if any of these climbers are actually going to be able to stop and flick a foot instead.
Okay, well, we'll find that out in a sec. He is up. It's hard to see some of these holds, and we will have a little play with the toy in a minute to show you some of these more closely. Jo swinging and catches. She's still in the air. Can't pull it back in. Wild move from Jo.
Yeah, dropping really low through the shoulders, so she'll know that she can stick the move, and just with a bit more, maybe of a brace through her shoulder girdle, stay a bit higher. She might be able to stay there. Reese really fighting through these volumes. He's making good progress.
He is indeed. Well, comes up with the right hand there. Pinches in, and he's nearing the end as well.
So just moving his way through these volumes. Again, it's not obvious where to hold them. After this orange volume, it is the top hold. He's just slipping off. So someone asked before, are these volumes dual tex? I think they all are one texture, but just generally quite slippy.
Yeah, indeed. Well, look, when this round finishes, we're going to have another look at this this animal-style boulder using our new toys. In fact, look, there is our new toys. So we aren't, but an expert next to me is flying this around, and now you can see a little better the holds that are on the volumes themselves, because they do exist, but they're hard to see.
Yeah, so you can see that there are what we call piggybacks, so screw-ons put onto the volume. If we move down towards the bottom of the boulder, there is an orange screw-on. It's almost, I don't know if it was at the time, but it has also been attacked with a Sharpie to make it have some stripes on it. Those crimps there are actually fairly good. So the right hand, what he's got with now, that is a good undercut. The next one is a flat crimp, so not especially fantastic, but not majorly needed because you can move through so quickly. And then you can really see his body shape. He's standing on the slippiest foothold I think I've felt. Just making it look like the stickiest thing though, so he's obviously doing great there. And the orange volume, the penultimate hold, you can see just on the yellow volume above his head, there's a black screw on. That's his finish hold. So he's really close to actually topping this block.
And there we go. We got to play with a new toy as well. Really cool that. And we flick back to Jo now with 10 seconds to go. Not getting as far as she wants. A shake of her head. It's no zone, no top for her. And she leaves again, not on the scoreboard.
She's got that smile on her face though. It's good for her to be getting this experience. But like you said, she is on the lead team. So, you know, who knows if she's expecting a high performance out of the Boulder Comp.
Yeah, I mean, she's made finals out of a lot of people who turned up here to qualify the other day. As Leah said earlier, 30 boulders. Let's have a look at, if we can, our computer fly-by of the women's boulder this time, shall we? If we can get that on a screen in a screen. We've looked at the men's, let's look at the women's. There it is. So, Leah, as we rotate around this, we can really see, and what I love about this is we're allowed to see into the holds as we pan around. You can see how deep they are, and it just allows us to see the angles a little bit better.
Yeah, so again, standing on the floor, you don't always get like the best idea of how big these holds are, but just moving up into this jug, you can really see how deep it is. So this is a huge hold, and what made me think maybe you could stall on it without doing the palm plants. But again, I was going to say, watching these girls, we'll see if that's possible or not.
And great as well, because you can see the distance she's got to go now over to the right. So as she goes over, Dylan is on the zebra multicoloured thing. He's involved. This is, it's all go here. My brain is going crazy as my eyes flick around trying to work out what's going on. But Emma hits the top hold. She needs to match it, gets a thumb in underneath. That is a match. What a move.
Fair play. I was unsure then with the left thumb that she was holding on to whether that was the right thing or not, but then being able to oppose it with the right backhand just meant that she could really keep her shoulders close in and not kind of bag out from the wall. Good top. Good top there.
And look how quickly she did it as well. Just 15% time spent on the wall, so a quick send. And of course, that means she gets to go back into isolation and just chill out a bit before her next round. She gets more time to rest. Yeah,
she will. Obviously, because they come out in pairs, that'll also depend on how long Dylan takes to do his block. But I think that's also why sometimes when you're a finals competitor, it's hard to know when you're actually going to be coming out. So when you're sat behind the wall, you're trying to get your shoes on, but you're getting a bit nervous because are you going to be going out in 10 seconds? Are you going to be going out in a minute? You're not sure. So just almost little things like crimping the edge of your chair just to keep your fingers warm, little tips and tricks. Especially when you're on holds this size, you can really see how small some of these crimps are that they're using.
Yeah, that is a nasty one. It's a flat kind of crimp that gets his toe up where his hand is. That's a nasty move. He tries to snatch at everything with the left.
Yeah, so you look like you could see he was getting his foot up by his hand there. I think the route setters were wanting a really wide right toe hook on the white zebra volume. I mean, there's quite a few on the wall there, but when he gets back on, we'll be able to explain it a little bit easier. And again, more kind of 3D climbing, slightly out the box. Not your straightforward block by any means.
Absolutely. I think we've got three animals involved here. I think we've got zebra, tiger, and giraffe, from what I think anyway. I think giraffe is the yellow and black, tiger is the orange and black, and then the zebra is the white and black. That's just my opinion. Let us know on the chat what you think.
Yeah, so this move right here, looking for a right toe hook on the edge of the white volume, but oh, there we go. He's popped it in.
Yes.
It's like he heard me.
Yeah, it's like that other foot he had really wasn't working for him. I'm glad he changed things up there.
Sometimes it just needs you to kind of step back, look at the bigger picture, not get sucked into the thing that's right in front of your face, and go, there's a big hold right there.
Oh, falls on his own hold though. But he is awarded that zone on our score, so that is good. And he pulls it again. He's got 30 seconds. And as Jan Havel is pointing out, Emma flashed that boulder up, so she's did it in one. And I think Dylan's going to call it a day here. Big smile on his face, but no send for him. But a zone will get him up that leaderboard. And Dylan leaves a popular member of this team for sure as he heads into the isolation zone.
fantastic flash from Emma, although, again, what we were saying before, her favourite style is that dynamic coordination, so maybe not necessarily a surprise.
Yeah, fair enough. She's been working on that. Holly Toothfield runs on. And then Sam Butterworth is there, just tweaking that brush, making sure all is ready to go.
Holly also no stranger to dynamic climbing, especially the coordination. Where she climbs is quite heavily orientated around a lot of coordination blocks. Although her style is, I just like climbing. So it was quite nice. So hopefully, you know, maybe Holly's actually just an all-rounder.
Maybe, exactly. All right, well, she's springing up to start. Palm down. So smooth from Holly.
Yeah, really easy. Just really flowing in her movement. You can tell that she was quite comfortable through that. Didn't really look like it phased her. The top, you know, maybe a little bit more awkward than we maybe first thought when Emma was up there. But this will be the second time that we can really see someone into the top section. That pocket does look quite good, but maybe it's the actual body position and the steepness of the wall here that's awkward. This is how I thought it was. Into the undercut, not the thumb.
That was light work from Holly there, wasn't it? Got it done.
Carrying on the flash train.
She is indeed. And someone's pointing out on the chat that giraffes are yellow and brown, and that hold is yellow and black. So fair enough. Fair enough. I started this one, so maybe it's what is it? A cheetah?
I was a bit surprised when you came out with giraffe, but it's, you know, it's open for interpretation.
Is leopard? Is leopard yellow? And
We'll go with leopard.
Like, come on, zookeepers, let me know what is going, or just, you know, safari experts. What animal is the yellow and black? I'm sticking with a tiger and a zebra for the other ones. Yellow one's up to you guys at home. Let me know. As my immaturity slips to a new level here on the live stream. Sam, meanwhile, is climbing for his life out there.
Yeah, pulling on for his second attempt. I guess it's just being able to find your way through the sea of holds, these edges. They're not clear which ones you need to hold, where you need to hold them, in fact.
Right, stands up. There's the opposition you need to get in with your leg and your hand as well. Inside flag.
Yeah, looking quite composed. Get in the zone. That zone with the thumb is completely slippy text. There is nothing on there whatsoever.
Oh, he's adjusting that hand, trying to stand up on that right foot. Now drops it down to another tiger hold. And what he's standing on the left foot is a tiny slither of a hold.
Yeah, there's a small edge just on the edge of that volume. Looking for a bridge. Again, that's really kicking him out quite wide from the wall. Hard to know whether that's going to help him, whether he needs to come in with a double hand wrap like he already is on the yellow volume. It's so frustrating when the top hold is right there, yet you feel so stuck in actually being able to get there.
Yeah, so frustrating times for Sam. He takes a deep breath. The minute buzzer goes, which means he's not got much time to work this out. Perhaps one more time at this. Shakes those wrists out. And there are some of our judges down at the front who have some of the hardest jobs in the climbing wall today.
Yeah, you can see Thea Cameron being one of those judges. She's carrying a finger injury. That's why she's not competing, but a regular competitor.
Okay, so yeah, she definitely an expert on the judge panel.
She knows what she's doing.
She does. Ooh. I think Sam's looking a little tired here.
Yeah, maybe just being a little bit flustered. He knows he's close to the top, but the start of this block isn't a given. You've got to be able to keep your focus and actually still move through these really hard moves.
Yeah, he kind of went backwards, unsent a bit of progress, and he will leave as he goes. I've started something hilarious on the chat here. There are so many comments about the animal types. Cheetah, leopard. Apparently it's not a leopard because of the shape. Sorry, it's not a cheetah because of the shape. It's more of a leopard. There we go. So we're sticking with leopard.
That's what we need our climbing community for, a consensus.
Exactly, thank you. All right, Diane runs out onto the stage on the safari block, and Jen Woods will get involved in this more jumpy problem. She did do a top of the first one in 5, so she's in touch. She's on the podium as things stand.
Only block 2 though, so actually for her another 3 blocks to go. There's a lot of climbing still to do.
Yeah, there is. This final's far from being done here.
Ooh, a bit of a slip.
Yeah.
A bit of a slip.
So Jen will have to have a rethink. She does have another long look at that juggy hold there.
She looks really, really casual into that move. And actually, I don't know if it was too casual, the right hand. It was in a big hold, but maybe just letting that swing come slightly too far to the left.
Yeah, she's taken a long time to look at it. It kind of baffled her, perhaps. So she'll go again. Diane is up with this snatchy first move over to the right. It's a bad edge he's going for here. Jen is in much better. Oh, no, she's not.
She's having a bit of a mare with this competition. Diane actually only just pulling on. This is his first attempt. He took nearly a minute to pull off the floor. Hopefully, maybe he's thinking that if he cleans it properly, he only needs one go.
Let's see. Well, he's halfway through it. He wants that zone hold to get points on the board here. Powerful as he crosses through. Hits the zone, and that will count as well. So he's on the scoreboard. Now trust that slither of a left foot.
That doesn't look like the best way.
It doesn't, does it? I mean, he held it for a sec, but...
So looking like he kind of needed to come into that as an undercut and not as a weird palm. Again, movements in the moment. Sometimes you're not always in control. Jen, weirdly looking like she's struggling with this move a little bit, even though she looked so close at the start.
Yeah, the palm almost seemed like an afterthought there that time. She was kind of almost off the wall when she tried to slap down to it. So she rests for a sec, has a look at the timer, which is on the left of the stage. The atmosphere interesting here in the climbing wall. Tense. A lot of climbers who have been competing in the semi-finals watching, so a super educated audience. They'll know what the athletes are going through. Better from Jen that time.
Yeah, really stopping. You could see almost that she was swinging out from the wall a little bit, but really arching her back, flicking her legs up, trying to counteract that swing. Trying really hard, you could see, to stop that, and it's worked for her this time. Deciding to just miss out that hold.
Shoulder in. Well, an easy top eventually once she'd worked it out for Jen Woods. That's 2 out of 2 for her. She stays in third at the moment. Stick with Diane, who pops that left foot for a second. It's an awful hold to stand on that thing.
Yeah, this left foot that is on is a really slippy, like flat hold nightmare, for want of a better word.
And a foot sort of, oh.
But he's got so much power going through these feet, he really just needs to trust them and get moving.
Absolutely. Well, he wraps underneath. None of that, what did you call it, slappy palm, silly thing, whatever it was, but it's much better this time. He's near the top now. That's the final hold. He just needs to match anywhere on that volume. He does. First time we get that boulder done. It is possible.
And actually, watching him through those top moves, it didn't look that complicated, but the body positioning, when you feel a bit awkward, you're constantly second guessing. As soon as those thoughts creep into your mind, that's when feet can pop. It's when you can second guess and not necessarily do what actually is the right way.
Yeah, well, he goes. He did work it out eventually. Yifei Pan is on, followed by Faye McDougall, who runs all the way to the right of the wall here. Go again on this boulder. I'm beginning to see this boulder now a bit better. I honestly really struggled to look at that safari thing. Now I can see the holds better. My eyes have got used to it. And the women's number 2, more straightforward, but a different style. And Yifei Pan wastes no time in pulling on.
Yeah, the women have got the monotone, and the men have got a, well...
Yeah, I was waiting to see what word you come up with then.
Camouflage. Completely confusing camouflage.
Yeah. Well, Yifei pulled on quick, fell off quick. He'll go again. Faye took a little longer, and now she goes up for this first jump.
Yeah, not quite getting the height there over the first palm, I don't think.
Yifei goes again, gets the high foot. I don't know if he used that toe hook yet. I didn't quite catch it.
No, I think he just went direct.
Yes.
He went high foot. I don't think flexibility was a problem for him there.
Now, he reached up to the zone. I'm not sure if he did that to kind of get the points, but I don't think it will count for the points, so we'll see. Yeah, it's not. So he was just having a play.
Now he's on. There we go.
That's points on the board. You can see his zone on the left. Loving the scoreboard, by the way. Really impressive stuff. He wraps that left hand underneath.
Just taking his time to place his left foot properly. He needs to keep his hips high here because that undercut is quite up by his chest. moving his hand down, that's going to help put more pressure through his feet. This is an impressive attempt, if he can hold on.
It is, isn't it? Oh, so close to that crimp.
Just coming up a little bit short, maybe a little bit more flick in the hips, just to give him a bit more height is needed.
Yeah, well, he looks disappointed, and he perhaps should be. He was in there, and if he'd just got a bit more of a finger in there.
Well, 2 goes. He's still got 2 minutes on the clock. He knows he can do that. It'll just be now executing exactly the same moves that he did, not making an error, and hopefully not being too tired.
Yeah, okay, well, let's see what he can do. Meanwhile, Faye McDougall starts her jump. Watch this left palm now. Yeah, coming away from the wall a bit still.
Yeah, the right finger's looking like they're slipping out a little bit. The hold is big, but sometimes, even so, the texture can be a real problem. I really wanted to put the other part of the brush in, so like brush the bit where her fingers are going to go.
I know what you mean, yeah. Angle it down a bit. Yifei's up again. Will he be feeling a bit of fatigue? He's been wrestling with his boulder twice now. Comes out left. Hits this thumb. Remember, no texture on that thumb at all.
Oh, that's not what he did before. There we go.
Yeah, he had to adjust mid-move there. How's that left foot solid though now? Just that crimp to come. Faye falls again.
A little bit of foot tapping. You can tell by the body language on the wall he didn't look comfortable. He didn't look secure. And then quite shortly after he's off.
Yeah, so testing times for both athletes here with just 45 seconds left on the clock. Faye jumps again. No, she's not getting any closer on that. And Faye still not using that toe hook that's possible on the right. Elbows up as he comes into this move, reaches out to the left. I mean, he's much, much quicker and fluid here.
Yeah, still climbing really nicely through the moves. She says, as he completely misses the foot back.
Yeah, Yifei is done, so not the boulder for him. Faye will keep going. She hasn't got a zone yet. And no, she calls it a day too. Wow, what an up and down finals this is. And a shake of her head. Faye walking off with a determined expression on her face. She'll want to come back strong after that, but she'll have to leave for now.
Yeah, she'll know that the 3 climbers in front of her have topped that block, so she'll be the first one to not. She will now need to sit, wait, and if she's not got headphones on, listen to see if the other climbers are going to stop.
Good point. It's just a curtain separating them, isn't there? So you hear pretty much everything. Okay, final 2, and both of these 2 didn't have the best start to the round. We'll want to pull something back here on this boulder. Aiden, just that face is kind of what I pulled when I saw that. Just like, what is going on here?
Aiden's laughing to himself. At least he's having fun throughout this. As long as he can unlock the movement, feel his way through it. Does it feel right? Does it feel wrong? And not pop off like that.
Yes, that left hand fired there, didn't it? Well, he's gone. But look at this from Louise Flockhart.
Yeah, moving through easy. Again, dynamic moves. I think her thing, I've seen her do it a lot. Anything weird is her sort of favourite style of climbing. So maybe this top move is something like up her street. She has to figure it out.
Crosses through. She is in. That was a flash. I love this about climbing. The fact we can watch an athlete fall off something for 4 minutes. Someone else walks in, just does it first time. It's incredible the differences, isn't it? Sometimes.
And actually, it not be completely clear as to why one person is struggling, and then we might move on to the next block, and the tables completely turn. What
a sport, eh? Fascinating. All right. Well, Aiden is grimacing as he bumps straight up to that pinchy zone. Good footwork from him. Nice shot in the shot there.
Yeah, taking his time here. Still a bit of foot bumping. He is on the really bad hold, so as long as he doesn't bump too much and get out of it, well snatched for the top hold.
He clawed at it, didn't he? Wow. Gets it done. That was pure grit at the top of that boulder. Just a fingernail seemed to be biting in to hold him, but that is a big send for him.
Yeah, shaking out his left hand there. I think that was that was definitely quite the snatch to the top hold. But it paid off. He's got the top.
I tell you what, there's going to be some tired athletes after 2 days of competition here. 30 boulders in quali, 4 boulders early on, 4 boulders now. It's going to be full on. All right, Diane is leading the way though. Aidan with that quick top jumps into second place. U5 in third. Sam, Reese and Dylan after that. That's our top 6 for the men. It's being confirmed there. Jonathan Sin on YouTube is saying Aidan's going to be the champ. We'll see. We'll see, Jonathan. We'll find out. And Louise Flockhart's Holly Toothill and Emma Edwards make our top 3. Jem Woods close behind Faye McDougall and Joe Neem after that. So, halfway through, Leah, we've had that crazy looking boulder and now some powerful ones to come.
Yeah, back to some normal coloured, simple climbing holds that we can all actually figure out where to hold.
Thank goodness for that. But what a set. Alright, well, we move on quickly. The next one's on. Joe Neem runs onto the mats.
Yeah, just waiting for this beeper. They're not allowed to actually turn around and look at the climb before that sound. So both of them just given a brush. Again, they are the first ones on it. Do they need to brush it? Who knows? It's going to make them feel better psychologically, so that's what's important.
Yeah, well, this is what you said. It is that psychological thing, isn't it? So it just makes me smile every time I see that. Mike on YouTube is loving the production quality. Yeah, I am too. There's lots of new toys, lots of new graphics, and it is fun. So well done, Plywood Masters and Boulder UK and Tech Native for putting that on. Right, the men launch up into a crimpy first hold. Standing right at the top of that volume. And that big move left.
Getting ready for the launch.
Yes.
Joe's favourite style here is crimpy static steep. So potentially playing to her strength just a little bit for a couple of moves and then back into some dynamic swinging about. Her try hard face is like no other.
I agree. Photographer's dream out there. And our photographers are working hard. Do check out Boulder UK's Insta for lots of photos. But Joe comes off those slopers. So as you said, a change of style. I mean, it is kind of crimpy and steep to begin with. But then things do change in the second half of that climb.
Yeah, it doesn't look so obvious on the zone or the hold right next to it is exactly the same. It doesn't look really obvious exactly where to hold it. So obviously you've got the grippy part, the friction on the top, and then it's dual text underneath at the bottom. However, because of the angle of the hold, you're really going to want to use that thumb underneath to try and help stabilize the top part of your body while the lower part of your body is swinging around. So it doesn't help that it's dual text. More slip. And you could see Joe trying really hard. An amazing stick by Reese. That was so smooth. You could see how he relaxed into the plant when he got his foot on. Back into some tensiony moves now, though. Again, that mouth is going for it. He is trying really hard. This is a great camera angle to actually see the emotion going on. And the try hard he's got. And the grimace for the top hold.
I should point out how slippy that left foot is that he had to put all his weight through. It's not a great hold to stand on.
No, like being really strong into your upper back, into your scaps for that top move in order to block really high is going to be important. After all that, though, that's going to have to be a really conscious thought, unless that your subconscious is firing so fast that you immediately hit and brace. Again, these climbers have done so much climbing, so that the conscious thought process is going to have to be really sharp.
Okay, so Reese will take a moment to rest. He knows how to do it now, so I'd imagine he's going to wind that clock down a little bit. Joe, meanwhile, has work to do here. Her try-hard face in full display. She locks that left hand in. Flat holds to come, though.
Yeah, so different this time in that she's not gone straight to the zone. She's taken the closer hold. Really needing to keep that tension and not swing out from the wall, but easier said than done. Here we go. That's a tricky move.
Yeah, it's so flat, isn't it? It's like true gritstone style out there, as we're in the north of England.
Yeah, Nice. Good repeat there. Again, looking quite chill. This will be his last go, though, so keeping himself calm and composed, making every move work for him.
Right, he's in a pinch. That's the bad left foot I was talking about. Big drop knee in order to come into the volume. Launches left.
Big brace. And then he was good effort.
Shoulder power on display there. Reese gets it done with a big cheer from the crowd and 6 seconds on the clock. Well, guys, if you're asking and wondering where we are in Preston. We're at Boulder, UK, which is a gym in Preston, and this is Plywood Masters. It's a yearly comp. It's been growing every year. We've been narrowing down hundreds of competitors to just 6 finalists. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing. And 2 more athletes are out. Emma Edwards and Dylan Sign from Australia, originally living in the UK. Emma is just cleaning these holds. And also, I should mention, Leah Crane, obviously, with me in the commentary box here. Leah, absolute legend on the climbing scene, of course, for many, many years. Coaches, athletes, everything. And she's been fantastic here with me, calling all of the action. All right, Dylan is up. See what he can do here for this, as you described it, a launch to the left.
Yeah, I mean, going 2 hands, but moving through that movement with relative ease. He looks really comfortable on this angle. He looks really comfortable with these open, sort of pinchy holds. Can he have the high brace for the top move? Not quite. He did look like he was going to keep his feet on, though, there, and keep a bit of contact lower down. It didn't work this time round.
Yeah, lots of time to do it. 3 minutes on the clock.
Emma is keeping the tension, though. Like you just said, with the heel, moving in really slowly. You can see how open-handed she is on these, I guess, ledges, you could call them. Nice rock over onto the big foot, but this is where she's going to need to stay in balance, in control. That left hand undercut is bad. She's going to need to move herself to the right first.
Yeah, she is right. Dylan gets going. We're going to show you what Emma's standing on in a second, but we're going to stick with Dylan right now as he holds this left foot, and Emma is about to walk over to the left. Watch for this drop knee from Dylan. He comes, aims for the shoulder, gets it, needs to match. Cuts loose for a sec. Oh, he's keeping us hanging here, isn't he? And he matches finally. Thank goodness for that. Dylan comes down, and let's see if we can get a 3D here of what Emma's standing on, if possible. She's aiming for that last hold.
She's at full tilt with the right hand, choosing to come over.
Yeah, she gets that done. Well, great work there from Emma on the top of that. They wait for each other. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these competitors are going to know each other. We know that Dylan's from Australia, but he does train here in the UK.
Yeah.
They'll see each other on the circuit as they move around, and it's just nice to see the camaraderie and actually people supporting each other and having a good time.
I agree, and it's been fun just being at this comp. It's my first time here, and I've loved it, to be honest. So if I was living in the UK and I wanted to compete, I would come and have a good time, because the quali boulders were fantastic. Hopefully we can get a little look at what Holly is brushing here on our screen, because it is an interesting set of holds. She's just sorting things out, cleaning things up, and there we go. So this is our special toy, and look at them, so slopey there, Leah. It's amazing to see it from that angle.
Yeah, so this is the bonus hold, and also then what becomes the foothold for the top move. They are so angled, it's really hard to see from just sort of straight on how bad they are, but this is why the thumb, when you're holding it, is super important in order to stop that swing from happening. And then when you're using it with your feet for the top hold, making sure that you've got full force moving through that. So ideally you won't be slipping or trying to eliminate the possibility of that.
Absolutely. And that is now what she's holding on to. So it gives you an idea. Okay, we come back to the men's boulder as well. So 2 lots of climbing going on. Big drop knee from Sam, looking strong on this.
Yeah, really good at holding tension there. Holly holding tension as well. You can see that they're quite aware of their hands and their feet and the connection needed to be in between the two. Sam, I mean, just making that top move look absolutely fine.
Yeah, it was so solid throughout. There was never a moment where he caused me a little heart flutter there. He got it done. All right, Holly, meanwhile, she's done well. She's been on the wall a long time as well.
Yeah, you can see her just shaking a little bit, but she's really calm in her face. Quite slow, considered movements. Not looking too stressed. And I think the body language when someone's climbing can give quite a lot away.
I agree with you. She's looking good here. We haven't seen a top of this so far. Left foot on, flicks over. Oh.
Yeah, I think Emma actually topped just before her.
It's you're right.
Yeah. She did move. Well, she did move through it really well. I think we were a little bit excited about watching the men's block and the top move when it was going on. It's so hard to keep up with the action.
It's very nice of you to say. I just made a mistake, but thank you, Lee, for pointing that out. Jen runs on with a down jacket on. It's chilly out there in the arena. Dylan joins her. Yeah, 2 flashes out of 2 for that boulder. So, yeah, it is definitely doable. All right. Diane rushes the hole to make sure. And look at this. So this is the men's boulder. So this is what they're launching into. As we pan back and have a look.
No. So that's the crimps. That's the first move. That's what they're coming in to start the launch.
And that is what he's got to pull onto on the wall. So Jen, meanwhile, gets off the ground, leans back.
Just getting ready to set up here, and holding the swing easily. This is the techie part, though, like being able to stay in close enough to the wall, holding that sloper really well. She's obviously done a lot of open hand work.
Yeah, super confident moving through that. Little bobble there, though, as I said that with the left hand. Saved it, though.
Yeah, saved it with a nice palm compression, actually, on the unslippy part of the bonus. Just needing... Oh, I was going to say, just needing to bring our hands over to the double volume, but she's made her way through it without. Setting herself up nicely for the top move, but both the climbers that have tried to go left hand have then changed their mind, held the undercut and gone right hand.
Yeah.
So just needs to make a little bit of space here with her feet. That is a low left foot.
Oh.
Doesn't matter.
She seemed to come from miles away to get that one. All the way right, all the way left. Got the top done.
A little shake of the head there. I think she knew that was a little bit risky.
That was on the edge, wasn't it? All right. Diane launches up. We saw the first holds on that 3D render. He's through that now into the bigger holds. Oh, that was wild.
Yeah, maybe just taking his eye off the ball a little bit. The holds are quite big and the moves are big as well, but the body positioning is really important on the steep part of the overhang, because if a swing is not possible, you've got to be able to keep the feet on. Absolutely.
Well, that's that dish-like hold, and I'm glad we're seeing that on the render, because it's
really
good to
not
see.
good.
It's really not good, exactly. You can see how bad it is. Big old patch of chalk makes no difference really to it, and then this is the hold he's going to after that on the black volume.
You can see actually that's a thumb catch, so there's nothing on the volume for his fingers, so purely relying on compression to stay on there. It's quite chalky. Looks like he's not cleaned it too well, but doesn't look that bothered. He's managing to hold on anyway.
It's quite a wide pinch as well. Gets it locked in, hits the left, those shoulders holding the swing. Can't get the right foot on though.
He is fighting so well, and fair play for sticking with that. That was a good top. Good to psychologically hold that together, especially as well setting up for that top move. The right hand on the volume, there is nothing on it. That is a flat volume edge, and these guys are flicking into opposing shoulders with their feet dangling midair. Moves that we could only hope to do in our dreams.
Well, let's see if UFO Pan can do a similar type of magic at the top of his climb. He needs to find something here. He got a zone on the last climb. Did top the first one though, so he's definitely in touch. And then after that, Faye McDougall will brush up those slopey holds on the zone. UFO just wastes no time in getting involved here. There's no sort of looking, no brushing. He's just in. And he begins this jump. Oh, that right leg swinging way up above his hips in order to... Oh, and a heel hook, wow. Right heel in. That was cool.
Yeah, really making, maybe that's the lead climber in him coming out, like climbing in control, making sure his limbs are on. A bit of a slip. Recomposed, made it work.
What happened to U5 Patton in isolation? That man has had some Tenzing energy drink, which is one of our sponsors here. Really a seamless sponsor drop there, but what a move from U5 Patton. That was incredible. So we're just left with Faye McDougall out on the mats.
Yeah, Faye's struggling on the previous block and now also bringing that struggle onto this current block. She is our youngest competitor. She's 16. She's been competing for around 8 years. So
8 years?
Half the time.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, half of her age she's been competing for. But being able to clear the mind, move back on, I think this block is completely doable for her. It's actually just finding something that works.
Hopefully she can here. I'm still blown away by that stat. Crazy. She falls, though, coming off that zone hold. Nick Foran on the chat says, looked like U5 barely tried. He definitely did try. It's a hard boulder, that one, but he did cruise it. I will agree with you. So she gives a good brush to that zone hold. That spatter off is slopey. Drops the pad right. I love the judge who's sitting there just looking very casual in the background. It's something out of a sort of GQ shoot going on there.
And to be fair, he probably doesn't actually know he's on camera.
And he's looking in the wrong direction as well. I mean, he's not a judge. I just want to make that clear. He's one of the people. All right, Faye pulling on the I'm giving myself the giggles now. Faye pulls on. Left hand underneath. Right shoulder move.
Yeah, Faye, she's not... As a junior, I mean, she still is a junior, she's 16, but as a younger junior, she was definitely on the small side. She's 160 centimetres, so by no means tall. Looking really, really spanned out on this move, and that's why I mention it. In order for her to get her foot down onto that really good foothold, her left hand is still so far away, so her main anchor, when she releases that, there's a lot of tension just going into midair, and that's where she's really struggling to actually control the movement at the moment. Is there another way of doing it? You know, some of the other girls have put their heel up as well, but I think getting that foot down is going to be really important for her. Can she find another way that works for her height?
Yeah, we'll have to find out, won't we? Because she needs to do something with just 50 seconds left on the clock. Maybe he's got 2 attempts left. Adjusting with that left hand, looks above her head, gets a high left. It is stretched, you're right.
This is the point here that... So just with the little roll of the right hip, I was almost hopeful that that was going to work, that she was going to stick. It looks like such a fine line between her being in balance and her being not. I was going to say, this is going to be a tall order for her to get straight back on again and do it, but the shake of the head, she's calling that one. So that will be block 3, which is ended for her.
Yeah, she runs out. It was right. It was a great spot for you. So stretched out on that. It just did look difficult. All right, next 2 out as we look at time spent on the wall and attempts. This fascinating new stat that we have. U5 with 2 minutes 32. All right, so next 2 up is Aidan Dunn, Louise Flockhart out on the pads.
This will be our last 2 climbers on this block. And then it'll be all to play for with the last block.
I can't believe we're almost done. I don't want it to be over. We've got a lot of climbing ahead, though, as Aidan has a look. Chalks up, make sure. Louise pulls on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jinx it here for these 2, but I think these are blocks that these 2 can. Their skill set I've seen in the past, they'll be able to do these blocks. Can they do them after all of this climbing? Their skin conditions, I think give us another couple of seconds and we'll know the answer to that.
Yeah, they're both looking good at the moment, aren't they? About halfway through. Louise holds that drop down, so she's in with a chance now, as is Aidan as he moves to 1 move away. But this is the shouldery one.
He's dropped so low on that compression press, but he's done it anyway. It doesn't matter. He's got his foot up and he is back in the game.
Big flash from Aidan Dunn. I think his feet went slightly before he wanted them to, but he held on. Louise, though, yeah, for a moment, she really struggled, had to fight, and eventually dropping down.
Yeah, so transferring the her weight onto the feet and up onto the top slab, it's still a really powerful position to be in. And then if she can actually complete that transition and get stood up, I think it almost gives you a moment's breather before you can concentrate on that top move. Aidan holding his top move has bumped him up into the top spot ahead of the last block, so it's going to give him a real boost going in to the last block of the final. He'll probably know that he is now in contention for the top spot as well, if not definitely. It's a weird one. You almost have to listen and count if you really want to know where you are in terms of your competitors and how many attempts they've had, because they won't get a live scoreboard. So while we can see the scores on the screen, the climbers in isolation literally see the wall in front of them and the competitors around them.
Yeah, they get to listen but not see as they wait nervously for the next one. Louise looks up. She's taken a long time to rest here. I think she thinks she's figured out the beater.
Yeah, it's a really tactical sort of play there. Running the clock down means you're going to get a good rest, which is giving you the best chance possible to top the block. Equally, if you make a mistake, it's giving you less of a chance to actually get back on again. So it's a real big decision for the athletes, the competitors, to run the clock down or not. Depends on how confident they feel. If they really, really need the rest, they're going to have to take that risk.
Well, she's taken it. Let's see now if it works. Gets the fingers on, looking better, palming down those shoulders out. What a cross through that is.
So looking like she's going to cross all the way. She's got that hand wrapped.
My head is sideways here in the commentary box. I'm trying to look at how upside down she is. This is...
Not something that we've seen the other competitors do, but Louise is making it work.
Well, that's awesome. Well, she's in whatever. And now this top. Oh, that was close.
I thought for a moment, my gasp, I thought for a moment she'd just lost concentration there and was flopping backwards. But you're at the top.
Wow. Well, that was unique. Let's put it like that. But who cares? She's got to the top. She's given me and Leah a heart attack here in the commentary box. But congratulations. Get it done.
I don't think I've ever fidgeted so much watching a competition before.
You burn calories doing this job. You really do. I don't need a fitness regime. Right, well, we leave, and a slight adjustment going on here. I think they're probably getting a hold out of the... Oh, no, they're putting a hold on the wall. Oh, this is... Oh, okay, so that was in the way of the other boulder, I think.
Yeah, so just so that we don't have a technical, no touching of a wrong hold or being able to use it, the setters are just giving our climbers a few extra seconds rest. And putting actually a rather crucial hold on for the last block.
Yeah, this is the knee bar, but we'll talk about that in a minute as we watch Aidan's flash launched up. Awesome. Look at those legs. I didn't kind of see that in the full speed replay. In slow motion, we get to see how much swing there was. And then that final top, the little pat after he'd matched, of course. Job done. And this was Louise, and this is where my head started going sideways, because I just sort of rotated as she rotated. All the way around with that left hand. That massive inside flag keeping her on. This was the rotation. Fought for it.
I think this is a visual representation of feeling your way through the block.
Yes, that's so true. Head down by her knees. Fair play. Okay, well, I think the setters have done their job. The knee bar hold is in. Let's clean the hold there. And that's the block 3 leaderboard. So that's the athletes who did block number 3 on the right-hand side, different from the scoreboard on the left. Okay.
It really is all to play for. I mean, you've got the top 4 guys that have got 2 tops each. You've got the top 3 women that have got 3 tops each. Equally, again, depending on what each other do. Louise has only got 2 tops, but, the other girls, for example, could not maybe do any of the moves to the bonus. And so she could still actually be in a chance of being on the podium. Who knows? This is an exciting final in that the route setting has left it to the last block.
Yeah, it's been great from all those route setting team. Congratulations to you guys. Pretty perfect, in my opinion. Right, a pressy start. Look, 2 face-out boulders for men and women. And shoulders in play once again, and concentration faces on as Joneem and Reese pull on. And both of them pretty much in the same position here, just trying to turn around and face back inside.
So this move here that Joe is on, a real fast coordination move. You can see that she's just not holding the swing when jumping out with her right hand, and that's because her left hand needs to flick into that undercut at the same time. Reese really battling his way through this 3D volume world that he's entering. Everything's black, so it's not exactly easy to see where he's holding, but there are some screw-ons in there that he's clamped onto, needing to get literally his foot by his face.
Oh, nearly kneeing himself in the face there 3 times.
These 2 blocks look like a struggle. And this is what I mean by when the route setters choose what blocks come first, what blocks come last. This will be a real test of who's got enough energy in the tank and enough coordination skills still in the sharpness of their mind in order to react when they're on the wall.
Yeah, a lot going on for them, isn't there? And you're facing the crowd who are screaming out in encouragement. There's a lot of pressure going on out there on the mats. And both struggling a bit here.
Fun looking blocks though, I'll give them that.
Well, this is, we wanted to show this angle just to show how blind it really is under there, because you're kind of in a hole, you crawl out of the hole up into the light. I'm getting artistic here. And then you got to finish the thing out. But look, as we rotate through, we see how blind it is.
Yeah, that right hand, so catching that right hand, you know where the hold is, but you can't see exactly where to catch it. And at the same time, there's something that Jo hasn't quite managed to stick yet, is that left hand flick into the undercut that she's starting to press up into now. We'll see if she does that this time, but this isn't a straightforward boulder. It's one that you have to work out and also have the energy to keep repeatedly trying.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jo comes off holding her shoulders, but look at this from Reese. He didn't knee himself in the face that time. Much smoother, got that foot up, but now has to wrestle with this ginormous volume. Forearms in action, heel wrapped around. That's what he's going for. Now, it is a bucket of a hold. It's a good one, but it's a long way to the left.
And it's sideways.
And it's sideways, exactly. Hard to hold.
He can't just, as soon as he gets it, he can't just hang down. You can see that he's really trying to keep tension with the right backhand, but not enough.
Jo is emptying the tank here. I don't know if she's got much left. 30 seconds to go.
She can still fight for that zone hold, though. She is only 1 move away from that. She was trying to catch it with a toe hook then, but again, speaking to the route setters, that's not the way.
Exactly. All right, well, Reese goes again. He was 1 move off. 20 seconds to go. Gonna have to be quick, and Jo wants a zone. She's fighting for it out there.
Reese is doing what classically you need to train for. So when you fall off the top move and you're bouncing the clock down, you've got to be able to get back on and move quick and not make a mistake. And that's not going to be it for him today. He's just come up a little bit short, but a fantastic comp for Reese all the same. Sitting in 6th place at the moment, so he won't improve on that position.
Okay, so unlucky for Reese. Good fight, though. And we have 2 more athletes out. A lot of people on the chat saying Leah would make a fantastic coach and trainer. Well, she was a coach and trainer. She's grimacing next to me, but she's had a hand at the highest level of this sport, so you are correct in your assumption, yes. All right, next 2 athletes out. Emma Edwards, Dylan Soin, last 2 climbs for them. Dylan down in 5th at the moment. Needs a top in order to improve, but he's not going to get that far up. We'll have to say it and see.
It's funny that you say I'd sound like a fantastic coach or trainer. It's the world that I'm about to step back into. So yeah, it's been a little while since I've done like a lot of coaching, but I've kind of missed it. So yeah, I think I'll step back into that a little bit.
Can normal people get coached by you?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Well, there you go, everyone. You want Leah? Hit her up. All right, Dylan in underneath, in the shadows. He comes out, this big bumpy moves. He slides that right hand up the edge of the volume.
Easy high foot there. Like, not even a problem, but a fast, powerful move. Is he going to stick it?
No, he loses
Not
the foot.
quite. Emma also not quite holding her jump out to the right hand. However, she's still missing that left hand adjustment flick.
Now, we talk a lot about the way the setters organise the boulders. This is a brutal one. At the end of 2 days of this, after all those physical boulders, it's a hard way to finish things off.
It is a hard way, and I hope as well that it is going to give the separation that it needs. Again, we're not going to know that until the end. But that is what countback's there for. That's not an ideal scenario, but you know, that is the safety net to make sure that these climbers are separated.
Yeah. Well, let's see if anyone can get through these moves. Quick turnaround for Emma.
Yes, Emma.
Wow.
There we go. That's what we wanted to see. That left-hand switch into the undercut so she could control, she could oppose those. Zone. She's making fantastic progress up there. She's just popped her knee in, needing now to take it back out. Oh, just coming up short. I was actually watching her in person do that, and the puff of chalk that happened when her right hand ripped off was quite atmospheric.
It was indeed. Well, Dylan slides as well. Maybe I haven't noticed, but the knee bar that's in there, we haven't really seen anyone lock it in, or have we seen someone lock it in?
No, so not quite just yet. I mean, Emma's the second climber on this block. Jo was struggling with the first move. Emma, it was in, but I'm not sure like how imperative it was, because she looked actually quite strong enough to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, she had the foot up on it, but didn't quite get the knee.
Yeah. So I don't know. Knee bars are an interesting subject because everyone's legs are different lengths.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not one size fits all. However, as we move through attempts, Emma's going to be getting more and more tired. Is that knee bar going to be needed? We got to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Knee pads are not allowed in competitions, remember, so they can't have that protection. Dylan up. He had some floaty legs going on here before. See if he can get him involved. Brings that right toe up. Looks for the boost. That right foot just dangling in space. Emma's in though. And this is coming up to this possible knee bar up here. Right foot in. You can see that's where the knee. She wants it in now, and now does get it.
Nice. And actually, is in so much she goes right hand again into the top.
Look at Dylan as well. He makes the top. Great work from Dylan. That'll bump him up the leaderboard.
A grimace of holding the back, but a smile that he's topped the block. I don't know if he's happy or sad. Glad it's over, probably.
Exactly that. Well, Dylan is done with a top. How he would have wanted to finish things off. Good.
So nice to finish the last block. It's a really good way to finish, putting Dylan into 5th place. Emma struggling just to move through past the zone and into the penultimate moves, really looking like her right hand wasn't staying on that crimp. Was she getting tired? Was it that she couldn't hold the hold? We won't know, but she's got the zone, so that's 3 tops and 1 zone, currently in pole position.
Yeah, first place at the moment. Provisional, of course, some athletes to go, but you never know. We'll have to wait and see. Holly, though, 2 attempts on the first boulder, flashes from then on, looking good. She is a true contender for the win here this afternoon. Big moment for her right now. This stretch out to get things going. Turns it around. The DJ just dropped this tensiony tune in the background as well.
Yeah, so she'll know that she'll need to go 1-2 here, which she did try, but just missed the left hand.
Thuggy stuff from Sam.
Yeah, moving through with confidence. I just hope he can hold this composure together and not get too flustered for the top. This is a big move.
So powerful. You can see that left bicep standing out. Gets a toe hook in on the right. This is where skin starts to play a factor as well.
And you can see the logo right above Sam's head there. That has been retextured. So old holds that have had a retexture put on them is to try and recycle the life expectancy of these holds. So instead of just chucking it in the bin, retexture it. Way better for the environment. But he's looking fantastic, and he gets the match at the top.
With what looks like a sort of a back heel in underneath as well. Wicked move from him. That's moved him up to the top of the leaderboard. Things flicking around here.
Yeah, so 3 tops for Sam, bumping Aiden down into second with 2 tops currently.
Yeah, that right hand she's trying to hold is difficult if you lose the left. There's not a lot on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's it possible.
No.
I don't know, who knows. Yanya's not here, but you know.
That's true. Yeah, I think she's in Japan right now, so yeah, we'll get her over to test it out for us. Right, Holly turns. She makes that turn look. So when we watch Joe fighting on that turn, we know how difficult it is, and Holly's looking strong. Whoa, maybe it is possible.
It is possible to swing in and match. Fair play to her for holding that. That looked like a hard move. Let's hope she can make her way through the top now, so she doesn't have to repeat it.
Straight in with a knee bar. Big move to come though, and looking a bit shaky here. Drops the left foot down.
You never know with Holly whether she's just about to fall off or whether she's in complete control. And I wasn't sure just there, but looking a little bit low on that move, not quite getting enough height in order to really make good contact with the left hand.
Yeah, I think you're right. She looked just a bit tentative dropping that left foot down. Nick on YouTube saying he didn't know you could retext holds. Yeah, I didn't really either. So thank you for that, Leah. That is good knowledge to drop on the live stream. Holly, alone on the wall, gets full attention, and she wants the crowd behind her, and they respond. Still looking fairly fresh out there, but powerful moves to come as she rotates underneath that overhang.
And she can repeat it, so again, really good for her to hold that composure. She's done these moves before, and I know that she'll have trained essentially falling off the top move and doing it again and again and again. She just needs to make a few adjustments here to make this move work for her, which she does. And this is what I mean by you never know whether Holly's going to let go or just cruise through this move.
I can't believe she's still on. That is massive from Holly Toothfield. That could be potentially our winner. We're going to have to wait and see, but what a final fight that was. She changed the beater with the feet. I thought she was falling off the top. I thought she was falling off the hole before. Unreal from Holly.
And absolutely pouring the pressure onto Jen, who is due out next in the women's. She knows Holly just topped. And she needs this. So currently in third position. So she is at the moment on the podium, unconfirmed. She can take the gold. I'm just doing mental maths here, which I am not fantastic at, if you know me. 10. Do you know, actually, I think she's had too many goes. Okay,
well, she's going to want to bump up into silver, possibly.
Yeah,
so that is potential for her. But what a move from Holly. That could have been massive. Right, Jen rotates. She'll look for that left, first of all. There's the right above her head. Remember how blind it was? Jan Havel thinks Holly just won. I think you might be right, Jan Havel.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see, though.
Yeah, Jen, again, if she can get into the bonus, that is still going to be too many attempts for her. So I think Jen is going to stick with the bronze medal, and that's is if Louise Flockhart doesn't bump her down, depending on, you know, what these two climbers do. Dan making light work through here. He's looking chill. He's blowing the chalk off his fingers.
It looks so casual when he did that, eh? Big pop out. This is easy from him. Look at that tension to hit that last move. Diane Akbar getting it done with ease.
Yeah, that was a great flash, pumping him up to the top of the table.
It's all changed, isn't it? Yeah, so we reckon Jen might be able to get a silver if she tops here. That's what I'm being told, but we'll have to find out and see. Jen turns, big jump, blind jump to come. That left hand not catching. She's got time, though. This is where really you need to dig deep as an athlete.
I think all it needs as well is for her to be able to hold that move. If she can then get her feet up and get the knee in, the bonus is right there. It's so close. 2 minutes left on the clock. It is counting down. Hopefully she's going to be able to pull something out the bag in these 2 minutes, but that feeling of it slipping away it's horrible. It's really not that nice.
Yeah, well, she can still make a difference here. Jumps out with the right. Goes 1-2, but she was going way far back with the hips and the legs then.
Yeah, so looking like a similar approach to Holly. Holly had a really good sort of arced C shape at the end of her swing, so really trying to counteract that, whereas Jen was leading with the back of her hips, her feet were forward, and all that's doing is pulling both of their hands off that slopey hold. That's having everything working against her. It kind of I feel like she's in between two worlds here. She's in between switching the left hand and trying to hold the swing. So, you know, maybe some tester goes to see what it is that's possible, which one she wants to go for.
Oh, she's got a minute left on the clock now to figure this out, this little puzzle of a boulder. Pressing out, looking pretty controlled as she rotates. Out with the left sloper. There's the right, so close.
Is she going to double or switch? She's gone back to the switch. She's not making that stick. Do you know, I don't think we're going to see Jen stick this bonus, which is going to be obviously good for Emma Edwards. She's probably sat there. She's probably sat there watching.
Yeah, I think you're right, to be honest, Jen. At the moment, looking a bit behind, but we'll know in a second. 22, no, it's a miss. And Jen, I think that's it for her. She's going to run back and go again. Why not? You're a Plywood Masters. You might as well finish things off. But it's going to be a heck of a thing if she gets a zone on this.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to her. She is pushing this to the wire.
She is. One last launch. Come on, Jen. No, closer, but no send.
That's what it looks like when you give it everything. She left that all out on the mat. There is going to be no doubt in her mind that she held anything back. But just didn't quite have enough on the day to top that block.
Well, we know our women's podium now, so that's our top three for the women, with Faye McDougall and Louise Flockhart out on the mats. Am I right?
So,
about
well,
that?
depending on
Yes.
if Louise can actually get to the top of this block and how many attempts, she could take the bronze off
Okay.
Jen.
This is what happens when I try to do that.
Because she flashed the second block and she did the third one second go. So she has actually quite a few attempts to get to the top.
Okay, so all to play for Louise. Yufei Pan as well. He turns around in these big black volumes. I've really enjoyed watching Yufei Pan climb this afternoon. It's been great. Louise standing, pressing. She's struggling to turn.
Yeah, so this is Faye McDougall.
Sorry, Faye McDougall.
No, you're all right, Louise. Louise is going to be out. She's our last competitor to come out. Faye actually can't improve her positioning at the moment. But what she can do is still climb this block regardless. That's what she's here to do. Whether it is her learn a bit about it or actually, you know, just come here and climb. Ultimately, that's their job today, is come here and get to the top of the blocks.
Oh, Yufei Pan, he does rotate, looking awkward though, and slips off. He did a weird thing with his toe there to try to hold himself on.
It looked like he was always trying to dodge hitting his face on those volumes. It was a bit of a weird angle to be watching that from.
Yeah, it was. All right, so Faye stretches up. Starts this. It's interesting. Some athletes make it look super easy, this move. Others struggle a bit. She's just holding with that left arm.
Yeah, transitioning from a press into almost like a bicep block is a bit weird. She's got the right idea for that move. Not quite getting enough to stick it.
Faye Pan better this time. Loses the feet there, as I said. That swings back in. They're still hanging around with no feet. Gets the left involved now.
And again, he's nearly on it there where he is.
There's a big smear of palm print chalk on the top part of that hold. There's the zone.
Yeah, really nice pressing up out of that position. He was in full bent mode then. And again, making light work of the top.
Well, that was not smooth again from Yufei Pan. He gives us an entertaining top, but he gets it done. And he moves into third position onto the provisional podium. So Faye again is left alone on the mats. Men getting it done a bit quicker than the women. This women's boulder is hard.
Really trying to, I mean, there's a lot of chalk coming off that hold. It's a bad sloper, so just flicking your hand down to it isn't enough. You're going to have to really engage on it and oppose it onto your right hand, but the speed at which they're swinging out from the wall and moving the left is really fast, so it's by no means a simple move.
Yeah, so can she get it done? She's got to kind of do two things at the same time here. Goes out with the left hand, sights, watch that left hand on the undercling, not quite.
So looking a little bit late on the switch, so she's already got like a really big swing coming out. Looking like then she actually ripped her left hand off that hold, so a little bit too much speed and momentum for the way that she's she's trying to hold on. If she can be a little bit quicker in the flick round and the dead point to that sloper.
You kind of need to hit it at the same time, don't you, and compress in.
And just become a little bit more rigid into her shoulder, not letting herself fall through that movement, and the rest of her body swinging away, pulling everything off that hole. Yeah. She did try just in the last few seconds there a different approach, but that wasn't enough to get her through.
So Faye goes straight back into the audience there. She's done. And our final athletes of Plywood Masters 2024 is upon us. Last two out, last boulder. And a big moment for both of those. Aidan Dunn currently sitting in fourth.
So, from the look of it, he has 3 attempts on this block to go into first place. Louise can take 3rd place if she can get to the top.
Okay. So all to play for both of these athletes. Podium places on the line here. Aidan turns, first time with that rotation. It's so nervy, I cannot tell you. Up he comes with the right arm. He's got better feet than Yufai Pan had, which is doesn't really mean much. Yufai got it done at the top. Big move from Aidan, right. He's really in with a chance here. We saw Diane walk through this move. Can Aidan do the same? Out he goes. I think he can.
Yes,
what a flash.
He'll know as well. Look at that reaction. He'll have been able to tell what the other boys are doing. Fantastic performance. He's won semi-finals. He's won finals.
That is incredible. I mean, huge props to him for holding that together at the very end. He cruised through that boulder. We know our men's winner. We know our gold medalist from Plywood 2024. Let's stick with Louise Flockhart, see if she can bump herself up here. She's in 4th at the moment. This is this catch move. She's going to go for the... Ooh, didn't bring the left under.
Again, looking like she was stuck in between 2 worlds. She wanted to try and hold a swing, but didn't commit to 2 hands. She didn't move the hand into the undercut either. Again, these attempts are really useful for gaining information as a competitor, but not useful for running the clock down.
All right, well, that clock is ticking. Half the time done here. Coming up to 2 minutes. Still looking calm out there on the mats. We just caught a glimpse of the lights there here in the gym. Huge investment done on the setup for this comp, so thank you to Boulder UK for doing that. Put on a good show for us. Louise turns, presses a palm into that undercling. Oh, nearly dropped it off the start. Flapped around for a second there in the air.
Managing to still hold it and reel it back in though. Choosing to go back to that undercut snatch, but again not making it work. This is where you have the feeling that it's slipping away. I don't know if she'll know that this is a podium block for her, but getting to the top, it's not a given after you've stuck this move anyway. So she's still got a lot of moves to do ahead, and she's got coming up to just a minute on the clock.
Yeah, that knee bar sequence, all of that is above her once she gets through this move, and a minute. So final minute here. Massive moment for her. Comes up underneath. No flappy hands this time. Nice and steady through the first moves. There's the left hand. Let's see what she does. Misses that left, really. Louise takes another deep, deep breath. She pulls back on here. 30 seconds to go. This might be her last attempt.
Yeah, she really needs to make this count.
Oh, maybe getting tired here. 17 seconds.
Just looking a little bit flustered. This is not what you want at the end of the clock. She's still trying so hard. Can she get the bonus? It won't be enough anyway if she gets the bonus to bump it up, but the clock's done. Her comp's over. That was good climbing from Louise. Maybe not the result that she was aiming for, but nevertheless, she's finishing the comp with a smile.
She is indeed. Well, she will leave us. We know our top three yet. We'll get confirmation of that in a couple of seconds. And then it's almost time to say goodbye. Podiums, of course, to come, and I'm going to go down on the stage and interview the winners. But first of all, we will get confirmation as we see a couple of replays of what happened. This was Holly, so impressive throughout that competition.
Yeah, she really, really held her composure. Really cool to see her top all the blocks as well.
Yeah, look at this. Look confident. Well, look, Leah, I'm going to leave you to it for a bit and go chat to the winners. I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Amazing. So just watching a few more of these replays here. I think it's really nice to actually see some of these moves in slow motion, so you can really start to understand the movement that these climbers are having to put into each and every move. If you're ever thinking about maybe entering a competition, or if you've not done one before, Plywood Masters is a fantastic one to enter. I know you're probably sat at home watching the finals right now, but if you want to just come and enter for a bit of fun and come and do some qualifiers, there are loads of different categories to enter, including veterans. There is a junior Plywood Masters, which is held on a different date, so there'll be junior specific boulders that will be set. Again, it's just a really great atmosphere, a really good event to get involved in, and I would recommend it if it's going to be your sort of first competition, just to come and have a bit of fun at. If you don't want to hand your scorecard in, that's totally fine, but just to come and experience the event itself and everything that goes into it. Boulder UK put on a fantastic show. So here's Holly's winning performance, really holding that swing. That was fantastic. You can see how she's really arched, moving her hips forward and holding it together in these top moves. That was where she dropped it, but just holding it in full 3-finger drag. Fair play, Holly. That was an amazing fight, and hopefully we'll see a bit of interview footage from Holly with Matt when he's down on the floor. So just while we're watching some of the replays, I just want to move through a few thank yous, because there is so much effort and input put into these events. First and foremost, the setters, Jan Janu, Max Ayrton, Dave Barons, James Garden. You put on a fantastic display of blocks. Speaking to the athletes before, they really enjoyed it. And hopefully you guys at home have enjoyed it too. Boulder UK team, judges headed up by Steve Lee. The Boulder UK customers for getting involved. And again, what I was saying, if you've not been involved before, I would really recommend this event if it's your first time. The live stream to Tech Native, Matt Groom, obviously myself, and all the other team members involved as well. So you can see the team just setting up the podium there, and I will pass you now down to Matt, who is on the mats himself with our winners.
I am very privileged to be joined by our winner here at Plywood Masters 2024, Aidan. Aidan, first of all, congratulations. It must not have sunk in yet, but tell me about that final boulder, because that's where you won the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew what I had to do. I had to basically flash it, maybe second or third go would still get me a win. And it was quite a different boulder, like with a bit of a spin at the start, quite disorientating, and I didn't really know what I was going to do on it until I was on it. But luckily I kind of fell my way through it. And yeah, just really happy to get it done.
Well, look, talking about disorientating boulders, let's just chat about the animal print thing. I personally couldn't really work it out. There were so many colours going on. What was it like to climb on it?
Yeah, I was the same. I couldn't really, I mean, I was looking at it thinking, wow, it's so beautiful. Like, the holds are amazing. So I guess shout out to Rock City for them. But yeah, I was the same. Reading it in my 2 minutes observation, I didn't really come up with a game plan or know what I was going to do exactly. And again, I just kind of climbed it and let my body do what it can do, and I kind of, climbed it.
Well, look, it was incredibly impressive watching you win here this afternoon. I know everyone watching at home was enjoying it as well. What's next for you? How does the season look?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get selected for the British team 2 weeks ago, which stings a little. So I'm just going to do all these sort of like these type of comps that I can do, keep training hard, and then, hopefully next year try and get on some international comps and stuff. But up next, Quiff, which, is Quiff, so it's going to be fun.
Well, maybe proving the selectors wrong, perhaps, but mate, congratulations and best luck for Quiff in a couple of weeks.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon. I'm going to find out Holly, who's waiting in the wings. Holly, you are munching biscuits, which I am very impressed with. First of all, congratulations. What a massive win for you. You look so in control out there today. How did it feel?
Pretty good. I've been not feeling best of health this week. Been pretty over cold, so I came with like no expectations at all, really. So I think it kind of helped me because I just had a load of fun and actually remembered I like climbing and went and did it. So that was good. But yeah, on it, boulder to boulder. Each boulder was fun. I had a good time. These guys helped. But yeah.
It was a great crowd, wasn't it? And for people watching at home who were sort of inspired by what you did, especially the qualifying, the qualifying round is so much fun. Just tell us a bit about this competition, because it's something that I reckon people should come along and have a go at.
Yeah, it's one of the only comps I've done since I was like this big. Like I remember the old Boulder UK in Blackburn, I would be there and I just come and it was like the first fun comp I ever did. But it's kind of nice because it's usually the first one of the year, and for a lot of us guys, we have like a season of comps to do. So we'd always just come, have a bit of fun before everything gets like serious. Doesn't mean the boulders aren't really hard still, but you just come, you have a go on first day, 30 boulders, really good fun. Then you come in the next day, hopefully, and you have 4, like, with the setting team we had here, like world-class boulders. Like, it's nice when they feel well tested, well set, they split the field and all that, and usually they hit the spot, and this year it was really good fun.
Awesome. Well, I completely agree with everything you've said. Great work for the setting as well. I'll let you enjoy your biscuits.
I was eating a mid-round and I saw there was like 4 left. I was like, fuck, I'm going to eat them. They're going in. Yeah, I should have got 2 pizzas at lunch. I don't know what I was thinking to eat one now. So, yeah, chocolate biscuits.
There we go. Pro tip. Pro tip for
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Holly. Enjoyed the podium. Right, I'm going to head upstairs, find Leah again, and I'll see you guys in a couple of seconds.
Good to hear from your gold medal winners there. You can see the podium lit up, ready for the top 3 competitors to go and stand on. I hope you've enjoyed the action today, especially watching some of the replays. It just gets you so psyched to get going. So you can see, actually, with a bit more information on the scores there, how close it was. So like tops and zones, Emma Edwards with 3 and 4, and Jen with 3 and 3. Just hairs splitting the 2 competitors together. Joe and Faye just having a little bit of a hard time with no tops this competition, but still in the battle for the zones. And Aidan Dunn taking the top spot, with Diane and Sam with equal numbers, and actually you, Faye, of tops and zones, but it was the attempts that really counted to separate these boys.
Well, it was pretty spectacular. I loved Holly's comment down there on the mats about having 2 pizzas. They were great pizzas. I kind of wish I had 2 as well, but didn't quite do the exercise she had to burn it off.
That's when you really want one, though, at the end of the competition. The pizza van should still be here.
Has it gone? It has gone. Gutted. Well, look, our podium is there. Hello, sir, waving, sitting on one of those bean bags there in the middle. So podium is a couple of seconds away, where we will go down to our announcers there. And we can see Dave Barons, who has been one of that route setting team that Holly was talking about being so good. It really was a great set of boulders.
Yeah, I think they brought a really good variety to test the competitors. It wasn't like super shouldery, it wasn't super dynamic. You could see that there was a real difference in the skills needed to actually win this competition, and it was Holly and it was Aidan that came out on the top spot.
Well, our MC is announcing things to our audience as we wait for our podium finishers, who are gathering on the side of the stage. There's going to be a bit of a party here tonight at Boulder UK after this, I'm sure. And we are waiting now. I think we're starting with the women, and there they are. Podium gets called on. She's off you go, Joe.
Do you know, I think when there is a final, even if you're not on the top on the podium, I think it's still really nice to call all of the finalists out, because each one of them put so much effort in. So that's Jo Neiman, 6th place, and Faye McDougall coming up onto the mats for 5th place.
Yeah, there she goes, making her way around, standing beside that podium. Jumpers are on. It is freezing here in the wall. I've had to stuff my down jacket on, and goodie bags handed round. And Jen Wood will stand up onto that podium there. Fist bumps all round. She's got that bronze medal. Great performance from her. Oh, there's the big check.
I was going to say, this looks like more work than the climbing.
There's a lot going on, isn't there? Oh, is that a hold trophy? I like that.
Yeah, so really cool trophies from Crusher Holds. It's, again, really nice to take that home as a bit of memento. And not just have your standard trophy, have something that's a little bit more climbing related to any of these girls that have got a board at home that can go straight on there.
Absolutely. Well, I interviewed her. Holly takes the victory. She looked calm and collected throughout. She was chill in the interview, and she will stand on the top spot of the podium, receive that big old check. It looks like quite a balancing act standing on top of that thing. It's a bit wobbly.
I was going to say, don't fall off now.
Exactly, she's done all the work.
You chopped every block, don't fall off the podium.
Yeah, well, there we go. That's our top 3. Congratulations to all the women who have competed here this afternoon throughout the semi-final, final and qualifying rounds.
And a great prize purse with these climbers.
Yeah.
That's it will go towards helping some of them go towards their Boulder Competitions International, if that's what they want to put it towards. It is an expensive sport to be in.
It is indeed, yeah. A lot of athletes self-funded as well, fighting through, so congratulations to them. There are our men wrapped up, warm and waiting, and we're going to introduce them all, as we did for the women, onto the stage. He's still in a t-shirt though.
looking a little bit bewildered
He
there.
was a bit lost as he wandered on. Dylan, he had such a good quality round. Couldn't quite put it together for the final, but another good effort from him. Yufei Pan. Well, the journey so close to getting on that podium, but not quite as he runs onto the stage. No, he doesn't. He's lost. Where's Yufei Pan?
We're not quite sure where he's gone.
Pan. It's all right. We'll find him later.
I guess the competitions he's used to, you don't get to go on podium for 4th.
No, that's true. He's left already. He's gone. Sam will stand on the podium. George did a good job there. Diane runs onto the 2nd spot to pick up his check and trophy. Now you've said that the trophy is a climbing hold, I'm just thinking how cool that would be. That's an awesome thing to put on a board.
Yeah, it's also engraved on the front with the date and the place, so they can think back to that it was just attempts that separated them from that top spot.
It's true. Motivation, perhaps. Aidan comes up, stands on the top. He will get the big check and the big prize here tonight.
Oh, hopefully not knocking off his fellow competitors.
It's more drama on the podium than the competition here. All right, well, that is it. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone, as Leah has already. And thank you, Leah, for coming and joining us here this weekend. It's been a pleasure.
No, thanks. It's been great to commentate.
All right, well, we will return next year for Plywood Masters 2025. Thank you to everyone who's been watching at home. Thank you to the team, and we will see you soon. Have a great evening, everyone.